Hello, hello. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are doing our third video in our series of four. This time we are running through to-do lists are dead. So the first video was on creating your goals, how to decide on your goal and what you want to do. The second video was after you decide what are your issues going to be, what's going to stop you from achieving that goal, and how do you move forward. And today we are going to dive into how to take action, how to make that plan to move forward on those actionable steps from your goal to help you achieve that goal. So you basically take your goal, you break it down into bite-sized chunks of, if it's a 12-month goal, I have a year to do it, I'm going to break it down into manageable pieces. So each month I'm going to work on a specific goal within the goal. Each week I'm going to accomplish what specific thing that will push my goal forward. And each day, what tasks am I going to do that will push me to achieve this goal? We want to make sure that these tasks are not busy work. These are results that you're going to get that will help you achieve this goal. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How do you take that to-do list and throw it away? We are talking about to-do lists, how to throw them away, how do you embrace effective time management. We are talking about how to plan, how to prioritize, and how to prosper without traditional to-do lists. My name is Sarah Hawkins, and I will be your host throughout this session. So why should you throw away your to-do list? In a traditional to-do list, you make your list, write it all out. Do you actually do the things that are on your to-do list? Or do you just add to it? Do you manipulate your priorities? Well, I was going to work on this, but this came up, so I'm going to do this. And by the time that you reach the end of the day, the end of the week, the end of the month, that to-do list is still long. You still have things on there that you haven't tackled. That first thing on that list may still be outstanding. So what we're going to do is try a different approach to our to-do list. We'll start with some of the things that we do on our to-do list. So let's continue. The problem of busyness. So in our culture, a lot of us experience a busyness culture. We view busyness as a badge of honor. Well, I've got my full-time job, I've got my business, I've got my kids, I've got to take them to band practice, I've got to take my daughter to gymnastics, I've got to make dinner, I've got to clean the house, I've got to do all these things, right? So the more that I'm so busy, it's a badge of honor. But I'd like to challenge that and say, are you really being productive, or are you just being busy? Are you running around with your head cut off like a chicken and nothing's getting done? You're busy, you're expanding energy, you're tired, you're exhausted, and you get to the end of the day and you're like, I don't even know what I've done today, but I was busy, I was running around, I must have been productive. So we want to take a closer look at what we're actually doing. Are we being productive, equaling, are we getting results? Or are we doing tasks? Are we doing assignments? Are we doing things that are not progressing our goal forward? Myth of not having enough time. Oh, I don't have time. I'm so busy, I just can't. When in reality, we have plenty of time if we manage it well. We all have the same 24 hours a day. We all have, this finite amount of time that we have to spend. And it's just how we utilize that time. Are we going to use that time to serve us or to hinder us? What if we change this to a transformational belief? Embrace the abundance of time. Oh, I have plenty of time. I can do that. We make time for what's important. How are we utilizing our time? Are we playing games? Are we scrolling? Are we on Instagram? Are we wasting time, or are we using the time that we have? Brain's role. Remember, we talked about the monkey brain versus our prefrontal cortex, which is our adult brain, right? The monkey brain seeks pleasure. It seeks safety and avoids pain. It wants to put forth the least amount of effort and just binge watch Netflix and eat those Oreos all night. Where our prefrontal cortex, our adult brain, is our planning. We are able to make decisions. We are able to delay gratification. And we always have these two brains talking to us, and they'll be like, oh, I want to eat those cookies. No, we chose to be on our diet. We're going to do this. I'm going to go play video games. Nope, I have to accomplish this task that will push my goal forward. So we always have this two brains talking to us inside our head. And we have the choice, we have the ability to choose what we want. We can silence the monkey brain. We can use our adult brain to delay gratification, to plan, and to accomplish our bigger dreams, our huge goals. Living in pleasure versus true happiness. If we choose the monkey brain, if we choose the easy decisions, the things that are comfortable, the things that our monkey brain is telling us, oh, no, it's okay, we will get to that tomorrow. If we choose to live for the instant gratification, for that dopamine hit from the Oreo cookie as we're playing video games or watching Netflix or whatever it is that is our instant gratification versus our true happiness. We've made this impossible goal that we want to achieve. We've made that decision. Are we going to choose that true happiness versus the instant gratification? Are we going to choose our future self to have accomplished this goal versus staying stagnant, versus staying where we are? Structured planning and freedom. So a lot of people, when they hear this, object to having structure. Well, I don't want to plan my whole week. I don't want to plan my life. I like to be able to be free. I like to be able to be spontaneous. I don't like to have my calendar booked out and have to be in this structure and not having freedom. But I'd like to challenge that and say that having that structure actually provides more freedom and reduces the overwhelm. It also helps us move from reactive to proactive living. So if you're living this traditional life where you've let your life take over and you're on autopilot, you're not making conscious choices. And so things come up, and instead of saying, no, I have this time scheduled for me to do this work, I have this time scheduled for working on my goal, I have this time scheduled for my daughter's play practice. We run around and we're like, I'm just so busy. I have got to get this done right now. And then at the end of the day, nothing gets done. Nothing is accomplished. We've run around, but we haven't accomplished anything. We change that structure to a time-focused structure, to a place where we know what we're working on, to have time blocks, to have more of this structure, this calendaring, to decide what we're working on when we're working it on. It moves us from being reactive and creates more time and freedom. So when I say I work on my ads for my business. And then after that's done, if I have got nothing else scheduled for the day, that's my free time. Versus I have this hour that I'm working on my ads for my business. If I choose to play video games during that time, if I choose to go look in the pantry for something to eat, if I choose to watch Netflix, I still have this to do that I said I'm going to do, but then it's 9 o'clock and it's still not done. And so I'm overwhelmed. I'm exhausted. I am tired and I still haven't got my things done. So here are some simple steps to help with effective time management. So what we do want to do, some parts of a to-do list. We want to have a to-do list download. So what this means is I want you to write every single thing down. I want you to get a blank piece of paper or several pieces of paper and write down every single thing that you have to do in your life for this week. So write down things for your work, write down things for your business, write down things for your children, write down things for your personal life, write down things that are downtime. If you do want to watch Netflix, I want to watch Netflix. Write it down. Write all of the ways that you want to spend your time. So not just tasks, but things that you want to spend your time on. So whether it's working time, whether it's family time, whether it's church things, whether it's community things, school things, children things, every single thing that you need to get done this week, I want you to write it down. And I like using paper and writing it down physically with a pen or a pencil. Triggers memory in your brain to be more available. There's some science behind actually physically writing down. It engages multiple sections of your brain and it's more helpful instead of typing it on your computer. You can add it to your computer later, but right now we just want to do a whole to-do list download. After you've written everything down, I want you to ask yourself and check in on multiple areas of your life. Check in on work, check in on family, check in on other responsibilities that you have in your life, check in on downtime. What else this week? And then when you've asked yourself over and over and it's completely blank, then you can stop. I want you to identify different obstacles. List potential roadblocks that will stop you from accomplishing this task. We're in for an oil change. If we break task breakdown, well, I have to get my oil changed. It's not just I have to get my oil. Does that go along with that? Do I need to make an appointment? Do I need to schedule it? What accomplish this specific task? And everything that needs to go into that needs to be part of your scheduling. So if you don't require, if you don't need to look up the directions, if you don't need to look up anything that is going to stop you from that maintenance, okay, if I'm going to Jiffy Lube to go to their website, I'm going to grab the coupon, I'm going to not make an appointment, but I don't want it rush hour, I don't want to because it's super busy. So let me schedule it in my calendar for on Wednesday. A coupon, if it's to do that coupon, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to grab that coupon. I'm going to schedule that time in my calendar. I'm going to take my and the obstacles that would stop you from completing that task. I want you to go through that list and define has a time frame that needs to be done versus what's important. Every task should have its own slot in your schedule. It should have it whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's 4 hours, it should have a slot in your calendar. It needs to be broken up into multiple tasks. If I do need to call for an appointment, get that coupon, and I don't have 2 minutes to spare, then I'm going to create 2 tasks. I'm going to create a 15-minute task for the day before to call ahead or to get that coupon. And then I'm going to have a task for the actual appointment. And in that appointment, as I'm considering, do I need to plan for how much time is it going to take me to drive there? How long is it going to take for the oil change to happen? How long is it going to take me to drive home? I need to make sure that I am putting in enough time in my calendar to accomplish all of the things before my next task takes effect. And think through calls, think through all of these things that need to happen ahead. And this is not something that, if you haven't been calendaring tasks before or effectively, and you're trying to be more efficient with calendaring, it will take some time, some trial and error. So you take those things that you miss if you overlap on another task that you thought you would have finished, then you take that into the next week and be like, oh, okay, I need to have for these kinds of tasks. Limits the amount of tasks that you have. So the goal is to have no urgent thing in your calendar. You don't want to be stressed. You want to have important tasks and work towards scheduling those ahead of time so that urgent doesn't happen. They're important. They have a time frame associated with them, and you've given yourself enough time to get those things done. So what your monkey brain will want to tell you is to do everything and anything except what you have planned ahead of time. Oh no. This thing is urgent. You urgently need to post this on. You urgently need to talk to you urgently need to clean the fridge. It's been sitting a month, 2 months, and you haven't cleaned your fridge. And now is the time to do that. You want to clean your fridge. You want to get that done. It needs to happen now. No. Schedule your calendar. You've planned ahead. You're going to listen to your adult brain and be like, I know I don't want to do this, but I have planned it. I'm going to trust my future self that this is what I need to do. This is what I want. I want to have this future life that I am planning. And I can't do that unless I am true to myself and I trust myself, unless I do what I say I'm going to do. If I keep my promises to myself. Realistic timeframes. Make sure that you're giving yourself the time. And as I said before, if you overlap something and you miss the time, adjustments the next time. If you don't see in time, it also lessens the time that you have. So if you want to spend going to a farmer's market, but you didn't get your tasks done this week and you really want to get those tasks done, then that's going to cut into the time that you spent, that you would have spent. So you're taking away from your future self the things that you want to do because you didn't honor your calendar. If you do want to go to a farmer's market, put it in your calendar and honor that default. Use quo, reactive living. You want to live into that future self. You've created that goal. You have a vision of who you want to become. Don't give in to reactive living. Calendaring and looking at your list, your tasks, your results of your future self. Honor those decisions. Choose a deliberate life by making those intentions and honoring those choices. Routine as part of a deliberate choice. I am going to do these things in the morning so that I move towards this future self that I'm going to do. Out of a morning, okay, I've made my calendar. I'm going to sit down, do my to-do list download. I've listed out all of the things that could prohibit me from I have scheduled. So every morning I'm going to review my calendar. Okay, these are the things I've got on my calendar today. My day, what went well, what didn't go well, what can I improve on? What do I need to do differently as I get used to calendaring and being consistent? Pick one day, one time that works for you to do my planning on Sunday evening. That way, I feel like it's prepped and ready to go, and I am ready to hit Monday. You can do it first thing on Monday. Pick 7 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m., whatever time works for you, and do it first thing, but be consistent about the planning. It is a daily practice to supervise your brain. But the more that you do it, the easier it becomes, the more second nature it becomes. You've got that monkey brain talking to you. I want to play video games. No, I'm going to be an adult today. I'm going to do the task that I said I'm going to do. I'm going to honor myself. The more you can be consistent and do this practice daily, live into yourself, into the tasks that you've set forth for yourself, you begin to build trust in yourself. Sometimes it's easier to trust someone else, but we have all of these excuses for our own self. This is an exercise in trusting our own self, trusting the decisions that you've made to have this as your goal. And the more true to yourself, each time you complete a task in your calendar, each time you have a result, whether it's a small result or a large result, you're building that trust in yourself. And the more you can do that, the easier it becomes. Review your kid, our to-do list. It's in our calendar now. We've made what we need to do. So we're going to review our calendar, whether it's a paper calendar, whether it's an electronic calendar. I like to use Google Calendar because it integrates with lots of different things. And in the evening, plan for the next day. Once you've got it in your calendar, try not to make many adjustments. If it's within the next 24 hours, really try not to make any adjustments. If it's 48 hours or further, there's more room for adjusting that schedule. But it should be, you want to try and shoot for having your calendar filled, whether you do it Sunday or Monday, but your week should be set. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm going to move this, I'm going to change this, we're going to do this over here. It should be set. Be set. You don't want to be doing a lot of changing and moving. That will help you be intentional about how you want to spend your days. It also limits the monkey brain, being like, oh, I can't change my schedule. It's 24 hours. I've already made this calendar. I am not going to deviate from my plan. So we all get last minute things that need to happen, right? We want to limit those things as much as possible. If it's something to take 2 minutes or less to complete, just do it. It's easier to just do it and get it out of the way rather than putting it on a log and scheduling it later. If it's going to take 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, create kind of a log. So we talked about a to-do list download, right? Then we've put it in our calendar, and now we have these last minute tasks that come up. Keep a notebook, either a physical notebook, or if you don't with you, have a note in your phone down these tasks that come up that do need to be scheduled at your next scheduling session. And schedule things that are free time and responsibilities and business and goal. The more you incorporate all the aspects of your life, the more you will feel that you have flexibility within your schedule, that it's not rigid. You also additional timeline, right? If you work really well in the morning, schedule all your hard tasks, all your hard things in the morning. If you are more sluggish in the afternoon, create your workout in the afternoon. Go for a walk in the afternoon. If you have, as you're trying to build your business, you've got your job scheduled, and then you either need to decide, okay, am I going to work before my job? Am I going to go after my job? Well, how am I going to utilize my weekend? Create times that work. Make the adjustments within the next 24 hours. Because that's when that monkey brain is talking to us. Be like, I don't want to do that. It's not necessary. I want to do this instead. Commit to your schedule. If it's, okay, I have an hour to work on my ads for my business, that's the only thing you work on. You don't use your phone. You don't answer emails. You don't text. Whether you need to put your phone in a different room, whether you need to put it on airplane mode, whether you need to turn off notifications on your computer. Do what it takes to make sure that you have focused time in your tasks. Procrastinate of that. I don't want to do that. It's cleaning the fridge. I will do this task later. I don't want to do that right now. It's too hard, or this is more important. This is urgent. I really need to do this. That fridge is calling my name. That monkey brain talk things. I want to do the easy things. I want to do, it's more fun to clean the fridge than work on my ads. Break the task into smaller steps. As we talked about, for multiple tasks instead of one solid task. Okay, Monday at 2:00, I'm going to call and make or get the coupon from the website. And then Wednesday afternoon, I'm going to drive to the get my oil change. It up into smaller steps, putting them on your calendar for those smaller steps. Time block. A lot of the tasks that we have, especially requires thinking. I need to think through how this is going to be done. So if you haven't done ads for your business before, or you haven't done a lot of ads, it may take a few hours to do those things. Schedule the time that you need. Schedule in thinking time or the research time. So I'm going to schedule a time block of 4 hours, 5 hours to work on my ads for my business. You've broken down your tasks. You've got a year-long goal. You've broken it up into months, into weeks, into days. So I have a specific month, a specific deadline for this week. I am going to accomplish these accomplishments, tasks, but these results. I am going to not work on my ads. I am going to schedule my ad. I am going to go live on my ad. I'm going to turn it on and not just work on it. Because my ad is turned on. It's live. I'm not just working on it. Have specific criteria, not just, oh, I'm working on it. I'm a form of busyness. I'm busy working on my ad. I'm busy and creating results by posting it, by making it live. So you want to train your mind, change your mindset to activities. This joke of, well, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Well, why is that funny? Well, you can't just eat a whole elephant. Not that you would, but you can't just devour it in one sitting. You have to take small bites to get it done. Or how do you boil an ocean? One cup. You take these large, massive things that you feel you have to get done, and you break them down into bite-sized chunks. So start with a 10-minute task if you have no idea what to do. Or if you feel like, oh, I can't go to the gym. It's just, I'm feeling I can't do it. I'm just not going to do it. So instead of being like, well, I can't do it, I'm not going to do it in 10-minute tasks. Instead of going to the gym for an hour, I'm going to go for a walk for 10 minutes. I'm going to set my timer on my phone. I'm going to go for a walk around the block for 10 minutes, and then I'm done. If that's too much, increments. Okay, if it's too much to go for a walk, I'm going to put my run. I'm going to put my workout clothes on, and that is going to be the task that I do. And that's it. I'm done. It's scheduled in my for 2 minutes, however I want to schedule it. And then I commit to that time. And then the next day, I'll do 2 minutes, or can I do 10 minutes? So right now you're working on showing up for yourself. If this task is so daunting, so overwhelming, so anxiety, like you don't even want to try it, break it down into 2-minute segments. Put it on your calendar. 2 minutes. I'm going to put on my workout clothes. I'm going to put on my running shoes. It's going to take me 2 minutes to do that. And then I'm done. I have accomplished that result. The result is being dressed to work out. You're working on the skill set. Do that for a week. That week, how it's been, as you schedule your next week's activity, can you do 10 minutes? When you're able to do 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Every day, I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk. That result that you want. Right now, we're building trust with ourselves. When I say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. So right now, we're building the habits. We're building the trust. We can lengthen as we become more comfortable. It is so important to discipline in time management. We're building that trust with ourselves. We're building that consistency. We're building these results. be consistent. Reward system for your completed task. Make sure that your reward for your goal. You don't want to have losing 10 pounds and at the end of this week, your goal was to work out. If you hit that goal of 5 days working out, you don't want to have a reward of eating cake. You want to have a reward that supports the goal. Get your nail half. Create a reward system that you want. Create a chore chart for do these specific things to get the result that I want by the end of this week. And I'm going to put a sticker every that I accomplished the result that I set week. Get an accountability partner. It's someone in your family or somebody in our community, or if you want me to be your accountability partner. Creatively. Now, I want to say that a morning routine can be a detractor from your goals. I'm going to spend 30 minutes working out. I'm going to spend 30 minutes cleaning up, 30 minutes. And by the time that you're done with your morning routine, it's 11 o'clock. You haven't done any of the tasks to move your goal forward. It's better than a morning routine. If a morning routine is using it to create discipline, to create consistency, then it is appropriate. But we don't want it to turn into and go, oh, I can do my morning routine and not work on the tasks that will give me the results that I need to accomplish my goal. Do the thing that you need to do. Do the work. The benefits of delegating tasks, the more focus on high priority tasks, you are more effective of your time and your resources. Anybody that I've hired, I'm not ready to do that yet. It's just me, a one-person show, and I have to do it all myself. You can to family members, right? So you've got kids, you've got a spouse. Say, look, I am trying to accomplish this goal, and I need your help. I to divvy up some of these responsibilities, not all on me. I need your help with these things. One delegated responsibility. Everything is taken care of, and it's not all on you, if that's your situation. Trade babies and say, hey, if you watch my kids, I'll watch your kids. It doesn't have to necessarily be I'm paying someone to do this. It'll be an exchange of effort, right? Away from your kids, you're working on your tasks. And then when it's your turn, you plan a fun activity with your kids and the neighbor kids so that everyone benefits, right? You get to use your time to have interaction with your kids, and you also have dedicated time to your goal. I choose the right person for the task and provide clear instructions and follow-up. If you are delegating household chores to a family member, be specific about what you want done. Or then you don't need. But if you want the dishwasher lower, if you want all the plates facing one way, if you want things on the top tray, have time to show that person your expectations are. So if you're teaching your 7-year-old how to load the dishwasher, don't just say, okay, 7-year-old, you take care of the dishes. You want to say, okay, let me do the dishes with you. This is how I want you to do the dishes. This is how we do it. It works best. You train them on what you need done. That help with time management. Here are a few of some very good apps that I use, and you want to make sure that you don't go down a rabbit hole. You want to do the task, not be like, oh, I need to figure out the best app that will help me accomplish this. Use the app. If you got pen and paper, you can write down everything that you need to do. You can schedule your time. You do not necessarily need an app, but you want to spend time not on the frivolous, time-wasting things. Now, if you set time, I do want to go down a rabbit hole. I do want to explore tools I want to use. Give yourself a specific amount of time. Once that time is up, then you need to decide. This is not to decide on apps and it's going to take me a week. Give yourself a small amount of time to get this done. Sync your calendars across your devices. So if you're using Outlook Calendar, or very similarly, you want to sync it so that the calendar you see on your computer is the same that you have on your phone. So they're not two different calendars. You're not missing tasks. You know what you need to do when you need to do it. Set reminders for important tasks. Limit distractions by using focus mode, putting your phone in another room, choosing a room that is dedicated, remove other distractions, all of the other items that are surrounding you that could distract you. Put headphones on. Put headphones on so that you can focus on what you're supposed to do. You can use Trello to, as you have this big goal, you've got the set, you've got weekly goals set, and then you've got tasks. You can build that whole thing in Trello. You can build it in Monday. There are other apps. Just pick one. It's too complicated. Just put a task in your calendar. Have it written out somewhere where you building your long-term goals. So find the things that work for you. Start small, be consistent to what you don't track. And what you think in your mind of, okay, I had 1,400 calories today. Because if you track every single thing that you're eating, you find 2,000 calories. Maybe that's why I'm not making as much progress as I thought at this point. Track your progress. It's important to you. You've gone through the exercise of deciding what this goal is. You've broken it down into the things that you're working on. Track your progress. Adjust and refine habits as needed. You're going to need to done it before. You haven't worked this way. We'll find that, oh, wow, that really didn't work. Or I need to do more of that. That worked really well. Or the task that you thought was going to get you the result to work. So now you need to figure out, okay, well, what's next? What's my plan B? What's my plan C? And create new tasks that will help give you that result. Establish a daily. You've broken it down into and what is manageable for you. Okay. Work out 5 to 7 times this week. Research shows that if you give yourself a range instead of being work out every single day, once you miss that day, you'd be like, oh, I'm not going to even try because I missed that day. By 4 to 6 times. If you miss a time, it's within your range. So you don't feel lost about like you can't, there's no use going forward. I'm still within my range. Try not to miss 2 in a row. A different habit of missing. So you try to do within that range. You are only going to exercise your off, but you still want to have a range. Then it would be 3 to 5, right? I'm going to work out during 3 to 5 times and not have the weekend as part of your plan. Are massive. It's all about momentum. It's hard to beginning. So you have to let it sit. You have to be consistent. You have to keep showing up for yourself. You have to keep doing it over and over and over. You may not lose the weight in the time frame that you set initially. You may have to make adjustments. You may have to change how it was. You are still reaping the consequences of the right. So the momentum takes a while to catch up to where you are. You may not lose anything in a certain amount of time, lose a massive amount. You lose 5 pounds in a week. And you're like, whoa, what happened? Well, those little bit of daily exercise finally caught up. Your body's like, okay, I can let that. Make the decisions, make the choices, take the steps. Just start. You can start small, baby steps. Boil the ocean 1 cup at a time. So the homework is to do so write everything down. When you think you're done, ask yourself, what else? What else for my family? What my free time? What else for my community responsibilities? What else? Take that to-do list, identify obstacles. What accomplishing this result? Not just a task, this result, or this task that will lead me to a result. Put it in your calendar. Put it in your calendar. Time to do the activity, to do the task without shortchanging yourself, without rushing. The amount of time that you give yourself, so if you've ever, maybe high school, you had this paper due 2 weeks. Okay, you've got 2 weeks to do this paper. You down and do that paper, right? Or you can plan not work on it until the night before. You're like, oh, it's really going to take me 4 hours to do this. If you give yourself 2 hours, you can get it done in 2 hours and do whatever needs to be done in the time that you allow yourself. So shorten the amount of time you need to get tasks done. By shortening that time, challenge yourself. This paper done, and say there's and you still have, you can either get it done in 2 hours after you get home from the activity and then go to bed, or if you don't give yourself any time, you're going to be up all night doing this paper. It's the same situation. We will focus and do the things that we say we're going to do within the next. The more time we give ourselves, the more time it's going to take for us to get it done. So by shortening that time frame, the faster you will accomplish the task. Now, hard, but the more that you do it, the more you challenge yourself. No, I said it's going to take an hour. I challenge myself to do it in 45 minutes. Time's already, I need to shorten my time. I'm going to do this in 45 minutes. Okay, so that is, lists are dead. You're not going to use them anymore. Identify the obstacles, put it, and then I'm going to be true to myself. I'm going to be true to my calendar. I'm going to honor that time and accomplish those things. Recently, you do it every day, working on that result, working on it every month. By the end of that year, you will have accomplished so much. Okay, go do it. If you need accountability, you need a personal coach, let me know. I'm here for you. Good luck.